Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We'll be providing a press conference here regarding a serious stabbing that happened in the Transcona neighborhood yesterday. On June 8, 2023, at approximately 8 p.m., the Winnipeg Police Service responded to a retail eating establishment in the first 100 block of Reenders Drive for the report of an adult female who was stabbed. East District General Patrol officers attended and located an 18-year-old victim receiving emergency medical aid from Good Samaritans for serious stabbing injuries to the upper body. The victim was transported to hospital in unstable condition and subsequently upgraded to stable. The suspect fled before the police arrived. Officers quickly located the suspect in the 1500 block of Regent Avenue and safely placed him under arrest after a brief struggle. A sharp-edged weapon, believed to have been used in the incident, was located on his person and seized as evidence. The Major Crimes Unit assumed the investigation and learned the suspect attended the establishment at approximately 7 p.m. and remained as a customer for approximately 1 hour. Without warning or provocation, the suspect approached the victim and repeatedly stabbed her in the upper body, causing severe injuries before fleeing on foot. The suspect and the victim are not previously known to one another, and investigators believe that the attack was completely random and unprovoked. Robert Allen Ingram, 27, of Winnipeg, is charged with the following offenses: aggravated assault, possession of a weapon, and failed to comply with probation order. He remains in custody. Major Crimes Unit is still investigating this incident. Any information is asked to contact investigators at 204-986-6219 or 204-786-TIPS-8477. That's Crime Stoppers. I'll take any questions you have.
The woman, was she an employee at the restaurant?
I want to be careful. I want to protect the identity of the person and the victim, so I won't be able to confirm that as part of the investigation.
Can you say whether or not this is being investigated as a hate crime?
At this time, there's nothing to indicate that at this particular juncture.
Just in terms of the moments leading up to what happened here, was anything said? Was there anything at all that maybe sort of led to it or maybe indicated that something might happen?
From the information that I have right now that the Public Information Office has, and at this point in the investigation, there's nothing indicating that anything else was said at the time. However, that is still part of the investigation, and we know for a fact that it was unprovoked and random in nature.
How rare is it to have something like this happen in such a public place, a busy place,
Well,
families, kids?
yeah, it's a known establishment. It's very well frequented by patrons of all ages. We're looking at around 7 o'clock in the evening to 8 o'clock at night. It's frequented by many people that would have witnessed this. So this is a rare occurrence in that case. Very random and very traumatic for anybody who may have experienced that.
Was the knife, or did the suspect bring the knife into the restaurant with him? Did he have it, or was this a knife that's from the restaurant?
I won't be able to specify that. It's believed at this point that it's something that he would have brought into the restaurant with him.
Can you say whether or not there were drugs, alcohol, anything that may have pushed this forward?
We can't get into the mind of the person of the suspect that may have perpetrated these crimes. We can't, tell you what he was thinking at the time of the incident. So there's nothing that we can that indicates there was anything that pushed him to this. It is very much unprovoked, and that's what's so alarming about it. It's alarming that it's just happened so fast and so quickly.
Was he under the influence?
I'm sorry. Right now, we know that there's a couple of people that helped with emergency medical aid right at the time of the incident, and we certainly would like to thank those Good Samaritans that approached and selflessly helped the victim, because these injuries were quite traumatic injuries that needed immediate emergency assistance. So I don't have confirmation on who they were. We certainly like to put forward a thank you for their selfless act.
Was the establishment cleared out by police afterwards? Like, maybe just give us a little bit of detail about the scene kind of after the incident happened.
I wasn't there, but anecdotally speaking, when you've got any kind of major incidents in a public place, there is usually it would tend to be cleared out so that investigators and the identification unit can come and process the scene and carry on the investigation.
Was the suspect under the influence at the time?
I can't confirm that.
Are you able to elaborate on the failure to comply with the probation order? What was the probation order?
Again, I can't go into the past of this person and the suspect. I can tell you the suspect is known to police, and it would deal with matters that were not from this incident.
Do you know if the suspect attended this restaurant alone?
He did, yes, I can confirm that.
Can you, I know you can't speak as to whether this person is an employee or not, but can you, and it says not previously known to one another, but at any point in that evening, have they had any interactions at all?
That's not confirmed at this point whether they had any interactions, but there's nothing that would point that they had a lengthy time or interaction at all within the restaurant.
How rare is something like this? We have people at a family establishment at 7 o'clock at night on a weekday, and somebody in a restaurant gets stabbed.
Well, it's rare. You know, that's why I'm here speaking to you. You know, this is something that's not common. And like we've mentioned before, this is an establishment that's frequented by many patrons of all ages at a time of day where it would have been busy. So not only is it rare, it would be traumatic not only for the victim, for the first responders that would have been there, and of course anybody that would be in that vicinity during the incident.
I know you're not going to get into where the person was stabbed or any of that. Can you tell us if it was multiple stabbings?
As in more than one stab? Yeah. And as I mentioned in the release, it's stab wounds, yes.
When this was happening, did the suspect stop the attack, or did anyone intervene and confront him or challenge him?
I can't get into the specifics of that, but I can tell you that the attack itself is believed to have been quite quick. It's violent and quick, and the suspect ran from the establishment as soon as he perpetrated the crime.
Was he arrested in an outdoor setting, or was he arrested inside a building?
That's a great question. I can confirm to you he was outdoors when he was apprehended.
How far away was the suspect when they were apprehended?
It was the 1500 block of Regent Avenue, so we're looking at about a few block distance, so it's not too far away.
Sir, Olive Garden just confirmed that this was a staff member who was injured in this attack. Does police have any sort of messaging for restaurateurs, people who are running these types of establishments where there are lots of people, to try to keep their staff members safe, what they should be looking for, any number to the businesses?
Well, listen, and I'm not going to bring the establishment into a question here on their practices. This is something that is random in nature, something that could not have been predicted, and something you could not be ready for. So as far as anecdotally speaking, I don't think that there's anybody that could be put their employees or their people ready for any kind of event of such.
No, will the restaurant be closed? Means it's showing closed today, so are they planning to
I can't
close?
answer that for you. You'd have to contact the Olive.
They did say that they were going to reopen here. I guess, is that something that police will allow them to do? Is it closed?
That's not something that we would tell them. So basically what we do is when we attend the scene is processed by the identification unit, and then the investigation is ongoing. Once we clear the area or clear the establishment, they can do what they wish. That is not up to us to
So
decide.
have you cleared the area? I mean, is the investigation still going on there?
Yeah, the investigation is still ongoing, so that's why we've asked anybody who has information to please contact the Major Crimes Unit or Crime Stoppers and contact our investigators.
If there's anyone who was there last night who witnessed this, or who works with this young woman, and maybe needs any kind of support or help or anything like that, what's available to them?
So there are a lot of different places that they can go to, and then there's clinic, there's a lot of supports, ongoing supports that are available within the city that people can reach out to. Like you said before, this is something traumatic. I mean, we've got the young lady that was injured, could have been fatally injured actually as a result of these stabbings, witnessed by many patrons, including staff. This will affect a lot of people for a long time, in the long term. That help that is available to them is extremely important in their recovery, and will help them as a police service to make those contacts if need be.
Any thoughts on the fact we have another violent, allegedly offender who's out on probation hurting people in the city? Any thoughts on that from the WPS?
Well, I mean, our job as police officers are to respond to events and fully investigate the incidents, any incident that may affect public safety. For us to weigh in on the bail system, is which what I'm thinking you're probably referring to here. That's not for us to speak on. We can only respond to and investigate these incidents, whether they're nonviolent or violent in nature. It's our job to respond to investigate them.
Can you tell if Mr. Ingram has said anything to investigators or told investigators anything?
That I can't get into. That's part of the investigation.
Can you say what kind of knife it was?
I'm sorry?
Can you say what kind of knife it was?
No, I cannot.
Do you know how long the victim is expected to spend recovering?
I don't have an update on the victim's medical condition at this point.
And then just for clarity, can you say whether or not the victim was a server for the suspect?
No, I cannot clarify that.
All it says is an adult female. Do we have any age range that you can give us? Are they in the 20s or 30s or?
For the female victim?
Yeah.
18-year-old. Yeah.
And how long has she been working there?
I don't have that information. Now you can imagine this is a person in her teens.
Yeah, exactly.
This is going to be a traumatic event for her and her family and her community. So, any other questions? No? Thank you very much for attending.